Happy holidays, friends, and welcome to Laze Chats, the show where I chat about things with a crappy mic. Today's episode is all about Dragon Ball, and before I get to explaining what I mean, I need to explain why I've been gone for 2 weeks. First off, I am Laze, the goober who owns this production company? Yeah, this production company. And I have been gone for 2 weeks because, one, Thanksgiving, and I'm probably going to be gone for a lot of December and maybe a bit of January because of holidays. But also, I couldn't think of any good ideas until I had a discussion with some of my friends about Dragon Ball, and I was like, hey, this could make a good video. So here we are. And I want to say a big thank you for the 257 people who watched the last video. The support is amazing. I didn't even expect to get to 100 views within the first 10 videos. Dragon Ball. Everyone knows what it is. It's that show where the guys scream for 10 episodes, which is only half true. Yes, I know, the show from the outside looks very basic, which it is, and it looks very non-story driven, which it is, but the fights and animation are what you're really there for. You aren't really there for character development. Look at Goku. They went back on every character development he had in Z, which is one of my big complaints about Super, but I do generally like Super overall because, amazing villains. So, I'm here to talk about Daima. Now, the biggest thing about this video is I actually have not watched Daima yet because I'm lazy and I'm going to wait for the English dub to come out. And if it already has come out, I haven't bothered to watch it yet. So, they make a sequel to this video after watching Daima. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But I wanted to talk about Daima because it feels kind of like Toei wanted to do a soft reboot of Dragon Ball but didn't have the balls to do a soft reboot. So, let me explain what I mean here. First of all, Dragon Ball Super, the manga, has actually not ended. I mean, it has currently been put on hold with Akira Toriyama's death, may he rest in peace. But it actually has a decent amount of content, enough for Dragon Ball Super Season 2 with the Moro arc and Granola arc, and I guess one of the filler arcs, there's a high school arc in there too. But this show, I know Akira Toriyama was in on it, which is why I'm not completely against it, with the whole placing it before Super, whatever it is. I mean, like I said, I haven't watched it yet. But the animation update, and them being kids again, and the show taking place in a completely different setting we've never seen before, that is kind of what you do for a soft reboot, by usually changing character age or characters in general, and usually changing setting. I mean, setting can change the same, but if you're just changing characters, it's still considered a soft reboot, which is technically what Z was supposed to be, moving it over to Gohan. But why not just do a soft reboot or a hard reboot? I'm going to explain the two ways that you could try to reboot Dragon Ball and get people interested again, because you really only have the same fan base nowadays. But you don't have to, obviously. I mean, I'll keep watching because you got me addicted, and I can't stop gambling in Dragon Ball Legends. But it's just Daima, I don't know where I stand on it. I feel like just do a reboot of some sort at this point. I'm going to explain the two ways you could do that. Option number 1, hard reboot. The one I don't exactly agree with, but it is an option. For those who don't know, in the entertainment industry, a hard reboot is where you reset the setting, the characters, the timeline, the events, which kind of goes in timeline, but still the important events. So Goku going Super Saiyan would be reset if they hard rebooted the series. Think Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 reboot. I know you don't want to think about it, but I brought it up to torture you. So they could do a hard reboot because it would work. And I mean, you could still keep the original content canon with a stretch by saying basically Zeno is like, oh, I'm tired of this multiverse, and reset the whole thing, which could take you all the way back to original Dragon Ball, and you could restart without all the forms and the insanely high power levels and all of that, and maybe, have Goku be only one of the main characters instead of just Goku and Vegeta, have maybe Tien and Piccolo, the GOAT, be one of the main characters. You could do many options with a hard reboot. You could hard reboot and not even have Goku as a character. Basically have Bardock as the main character. That may be interesting. Then again, I guess you could just do a Bardock show if you wanted to. But I think hard reboot isn't really the way to go. The second option is, but this is an option because it would work to start new, make everything fresh, and maybe bring in some new fans if you write better. maybe shorter seasons, talking to you, Dragon Ball Super and Z, maybe not 50 episode fights, maybe like 8 episode seasons like everyone else is doing nowadays. But like I said, this isn't really the option I would go with, except for the shorter seasons and better writing. Yeah, definitely do that no matter what you go with. Let me get to the second option, which is the one that I think they should go with. Before I move on, I also want to clarify, I realized Vegeta was not in the original Dragon Ball. I brought that up, but since he is the secondary main character in all new Dragon Ball stuff, and let's be honest, who really went and watched the original? I only watched a recap and the most important fights. So, I mean, unless you're like a super fanatic fan, you're really the only one who's watched it. Option number 2, and the option that I think they should go with, is a soft reboot. And for those of you who do not know what a soft reboot is, that is where you keep the story within the same world, same setting, but typically change the characters. Or you retcon something, like what they did with GT, where GT was the canonical continuation of Z until Super rolled around, so they non-canonized it, which is technically a soft reboot. So a soft reboot, in my opinion, the best way to do this would be to make Pan the main character. Therefore, the power levels go way down. I mean, except for like Piccolo and Gohan would be probably the most powerful people besides a few cameos from Goku, Vegeta, and some of the other main, more powerful cast. And make Pan the main character, have her go on some like crazy random adventures with Trunks or Goten, or I don't know, introduce some new younger characters, have her go on adventures with Pilaf. I mean, he's around currently. And I know that Pan is not that interesting right now, but she is just a kid character who can grow character development, give her some funny, wacky adventures, some fun powers. You know, it's Dragon Ball. Powers could be anything. And it would just make for a new, refreshing start, feel like more of the original Dragon Ball, which not a lot of people have watched, like I just mentioned. But it legitimately was a good show, besides the suggestive stuff we don't talk about, and straight up just bad stuff we don't talk about. Make it shorter, like a 9-10 episode season, make the writing good, you know, character development. Dragon Ball could think of adding that. They could also stand to add it, you know, make everyone interested, and also add a female character in a more important role. The only female character who's really important is Bulma. And her main things are she grants them technology, finds them Dragon Balls, and wants a bigger butt. Like, come on. I guess Toriyama couldn't really write female characters. I mean, 18 is cool, but she's kind of been reduced to just a woman fighter and a mom. Like, that's it. No more character development there. 17 has had a ton of character development since Z. So, like, it just would add some refreshing girl characters. Like, I mean, Chi-Chi was pretty cool in the original Dragon Ball from what I remember. She was like an actual fighter, and that's kind of what, I don't know, got Goku and her together. But then she was reduced to a whiny brat in Z and Super. So, like, maybe give a new, fresh outtake on the Dragon Ball world from a girl's perspective. Maybe don't rely too heavily on that, because that can get controversial. But I'm just saying, we could stand to have some good female characters in Dragon Ball. I'm not saying the ones we currently have are bad, it's just they could stand to improve. So those are the two options I think they could go down. Of course, they could keep making bullcrap options, try to fit it between the end of Buu Saga and the end of Z, which makes no sense canonically in the timeline. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where they go after Daima, especially with Akira Toriyama's passing. May he rest in peace. I just hope they honor his, unlike what they did when he retired, I hope they honor his properties and characters and don't have a repeat of GT or the Z movies. And yeah, I think those are the two options that they could go down. Thank you for watching this video. I know it's kind of short, but I mean, all my videos are pretty short. They're kind of bite-sized videos for you to watch when you're bored. Put me on in the background. My videos aren't that interesting, the video themselves. And yeah, I thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Please subscribe and like, share this with friends, and I will see you in the next video.